Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Living to Learn. Happy New Year. The first recording of 2025. Going on 3 years this month that I've been continuously recording and uploading content on this channel. So I want to thank those of you who have continued to give me your support. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please like, please comment, please share these videos with anyone you think might benefit from them. So 2 things before I get started. As always, I do want to point out in the description of my video, there is my TikTok and Instagram handle at Live to Learn Coaching. You can follow me there for more content. You can also send me a message on either of those platforms if you would like to just learn anything more about myself. If you would have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you want me to talk about something, a certain topic, if you want to hear my opinion on something, that's how you can reach me. So at Live to Learn Coaching on TikTok and Instagram. Also in the description of the video, you have 3 opportunities to donate financially to this channel. Now listen, I've said this before and I'll continue to say it. You don't have to do that. However, if you would like to take your support further and you would like to invest financially and because you believe in what I'm doing, there are 3 opportunities there to do so. And I just want to thank those of you who have taken your support to that level, that financial level. Money's a big deal. We all need it. We all have needs. We all have things that we have to take care of, bills, people that rely on us. So to take your hard-earned money and to invest it in a channel like mine for someone like myself, that means a lot to me. So I want to say thank you for that. Now let's get started. 2025. What are we trying to do this year? What's going to be different? You know, the same old, New Year's resolutions, new start, new things. And I like it. I think it's cool. You know, I've been looking at, I guess, I don't know, based on the accounts that I follow on Instagram and some of the stuff that I see on there, on TikTok and other, social media platforms. Some people are not with the New Year's resolution. Some people are, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, listen, man, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Try, go for it. You don't do it, you don't do it. I'm not here, listen, I'm not here to beat people down for what they are not able to accomplish. I know what it's like to be a human being. To have the best intentions about something and not being able to fulfill that, although your intentions are there. Everyone's circumstance is different. Everyone is different. But I like it. I try to put a positive spin on it. Like, hey, you're going to try something new. We're going to do something new. New year, new me. Hey, go for it. Why not? Why not? I don't think it hurts to try. I don't think it hurts to believe. And you got some people out there on social media, other coaches, other, accounts that they don't seem to be fans of it. But I am. I don't mind that. We're human. We're funny. We're funny creatures. We have funny ways about ourselves, and that's just what it is. But this year, I am hoping. This is what I am hoping for. I am hoping that you will start that channel. I am hoping that you will start that podcast. I am hoping that idea that you have becomes reality in 2025, if it has not already become reality. And I want to take this from a little bit of a different angle than we're probably used to. We talk about fear. We talk about a lack of confidence in ourselves when it comes to, reasons why we do or don't try something new. Why it is that we do or we don't take that step forward, that leap of faith, if you will, to start that new thing we've been talking about starting that we haven't started. And that's true. And I've done videos on this, that these are facts, right? Fear, lack of confidence. But what about a lack of curiosity? What about a lack of curiosity? What about just a general lack of curiosity? Like, I'm not even curious to know could I be that person that starts the YouTube channel? Could I be that person that starts the small business? See, this is what I think. I think that a lack of curiosity will keep us, and maybe not just a lack of curiosity, but I do think that it's a major contributor. I think it contributes greatly to whether or not we ever turn that great idea into reality. Now, I can tell you that I have had, and I consider it a privilege, right? You may not think of it that way, but I consider it a privilege for the fact that I've heard a lot of great ideas. Man, listen, I know personally, and I'm sure you do as well, I know some brilliant people. I know some creative individuals. I know people that have a mind for certain things that I could only wish I was half as good as they are. So I've heard some great ideas. But I can tell you this. If I had to guess, I would say probably 99% of those great ideas are still just ideas. They're still just suggestions. They're still just what ifs. There's a lot of great ideas out there. There is no shortage of that. There is, however, a shortage of taking those ideas and turning them into reality. So here we go. How do we counter that? How do we make sure that we are not lacking curiosity? Because this is what curiosity is, okay? When you think about a kid, when you think about a child, you know, I have young kids, and they're curious. They want to know things. There's no limit. There's no lack of imagination. There's no ceiling on that mind, right? That curiosity. Well, we've got to be curious. We want to see ourselves as that individual who's doing that thing that we have not done yet. We want to be curious. How can we stay curious? Number one, we've got to ask questions. I've talked about this before. I think I did a series, or it might have just been one video about questions. Questions are powerful. Questions are powerful because not only do they cultivate curiosity, but questions do something for you, and they do something for the person or the thing that you were asking questions about. Let me give you an example. Because here's what you definitely want to do. Before I give you an example, let me get specific about what I mean when I say let's ask questions. Let's make sure that we're asking open-ended questions. And let me give you an example of what that is. When I sold shower and tub upgrades, I would go into people's homes. I'd be in their home. We'd be talking. And here it goes, guys. If people see you as a salesperson, you're trying to sell them something, they're probably not going to buy anything you have. If they see you as a consultant, if they see you as a person who is there to help, you've got a higher chance of closing your sale. So one of the things that is absolutely critical to being a successful salesperson is questions. You've got to have good questions, and they've got to be open-ended. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying, hey, have you ever hired a contractor before? That's a yes or no question. That's a checklist. Hey, this guy's just going through the motions. It's a little different if I say, tell me about the last time you had to hire a contractor to do some work on your home. And if you can remember, what was one thing that stood out to you that you were just impressed? I mean, you loved it. And also, if there's something that stood out to you that you weren't necessarily impressed with or you didn't really like about that experience, tell me what that was as well. Now they have to talk. And this is the thing. It's not you're not manipulating people. When you ask people questions and they're genuine, and you have when you're concerned about someone, right? When you're concerned about something, you're asking a question specifically like that. That is showing the person that you are there for them. You're there on their behalf, right? What does that have to do with staying curious, Josh? What does that have to do with staying curious and doing something new in 2025? Remember, we've got to feed our curiosity. We've got to ask open-ended questions about that world that we want to be a part of. The world of entrepreneurs, the world of podcast people, right? The world of people on YouTube. We need open-ended questions about that. Where can I see myself? We've got to feed our curiosity in order to cultivate it. And curiosity thrives on exploration. It thrives on exploration, which is a perfect segue into my second point of how we can stay curious. We've got to explore new interests. This requires time and intentional dedication. Okay? You measure that, you scale that, you decide what that looks like, but it's going to take time and it's going to take intentional dedication. But this is a surefire way to ignite your passion for learning. Learning is part of being curious. You're not going to learn something if you have no interest to learn. But if that curiosity leads you to learning, that's why my channel is called Living to Learn. To me, that's important. It's the most important thing next to unlearning. But exploring new interests is going to ignite our passion for learning. And once you have that passion for learning, now you're going to experience things, you're going to understand things, you're going to gain knowledge that you otherwise would not have. You otherwise would not have even thought about going down that road. And let me just be personal real quick. How do you think I got here? How do you think that you're looking at me on a screen right now, on your phone or computer, or you're listening to me on your way to work? How do you think that happened? Because prior to 3 years ago, I never saw myself doing this, and here I am doing it. We've got to be curious. We've got to make sure we've got to have a passion for learning. And again, passion, these things are, all this stuff, this is not a comparison game. You don't have to compare how passionate for learning you are with the next person. But in order to see ourselves as the person that can do the thing that we're not yet doing, we've got to be curious. We've got to have a passion for learning. And number 3, we've got to engage with diverse perspectives. This is a big problem for a lot of us. We need to surround ourselves with people from different backgrounds and experiences. This is a big problem for many of us. We want to be agreed with. You know, the path of least resistance is what we naturally are. We're just naturally drawn to that. And that happens with relationships, and that happens with discussions and conversations. But when we begin to surround ourselves with people that don't see the world the way we do, as unsavory as that might sound to some of us, we begin engaging in conversations with these individuals, they can broaden our understanding. And they can spark new interests. And I've told this story before, and I'm going to end with this because I think it's a perfect story for what I'm talking about. I think it speaks directly to what I'm saying right now. But before I do that, remember, in order for us to maintain a curiosity that's going to help us do that new thing this year, we've got to ask open-ended questions. Okay? We've got to be curious. We've got to explore new interests. And we've got to engage with diverse perspectives. We just have to. But let me close with this. I used to work at a company where we would supply vehicles for commercials, for movies, for, different auto magazines to do reviews on and things like that. And it was a fun job. I got to drive a lot of cool cars. We would detail the cars. We would drive them ourselves to and from. And one day I was assigned to go pick up a vehicle that had been loaned out to a journalist. And the original plan was I was going to go to his residence, bring him a new, freshly detailed vehicle, and I was going to take back the old one. Well, as I'm heading down there, I get a call from my boss, and he says, "Hey, there's been a change of plans. This guy actually needs a ride back to his house. Would you mind picking him up and just driving him back over there, and then you can leave him with the car and bring back the other one?" I said, "Sure, no problem. I'm getting paid, right? Sure, I'll do it." So I go pick up this guy, and he's really cool individual, very pleasant person. We're talking. And I was just asking him, like, "Hey, how'd you get into this, man? Like, how'd you start doing car reviews? And, how did this come about?" He's like, "Man," he says, "let me tell you." He goes, "I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm originally from New York, right? We're in California, right? It's SoCal." He says, "I came out here because I wanted to be a stand-up comedian." He says, "And because of that, I found myself at this time doing what I'm doing now." And his lesson to me was this: figure out something that you want to do. Have a goal, aim for something, and go for it. And along the way, you may find yourself not even actually heading toward that original goal, but you might actually find yourself doing something that you otherwise would have never even known that you loved. He says, "I never knew that I wanted to do an online car review site. I never knew that I wanted that. But here I am. And I would not be where I'm at today if I had not come out here in pursuit of something totally different." So stay curious. Stay curious. Explore. Try. It's a new year, 2025. I want to see you start it. I want to see you do that. I want us to do that. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I know it was kind of long, but I felt like this was just something important to share with you. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and anybody you think might benefit from it, share the video with them. Have a great day.